G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Yes, another week of Super Rugby, another week of utter fucking disgrace on the field. And this time, it's the future of Australian rugby, Tate Mcdermott. Yes, striking a player on the ground, as you can see right here. Absolute fucking disgraceful. I actually couldn't believe what I saw, especially considering it's only been 6 days since Frank Lamani and Karui Duradura was sent off for striking. Right? Frank Lamani, elbow to the back of the head, 6-week suspension. I thought that's probably fair enough. And Karui Duradura only got 2-week suspension for a headbutt. Now, I'm guessing Mcdermott probably thought to himself, hey, 2-week suspension for striking is pretty good. I want to take some time off to go to Bali, right? He thought, hey, I'm going to take a swing and take 2 weeks off, and that'll be that. So, unfortunately, Tate Mcdermott's genius plan was foiled by the moron in the bunker. Because the moron in the bunker looked at this and said that was a dangerous clean out. And it was only a 20-minute red card, which means it's not striking, which means it's gonna be a 6-week fucking suspension for you. No. I know. He's not gonna get 2 weeks. He's probably gonna get 6. Because he's actually not striking. It's a dangerous clean out. I know, a dangerous clean out to the guy holding the ball. From the guy making the tackle. I mean, it's kind of expected, right? Because we know people working in Rugby Australia don't watch rugby. So I'm not surprised that the person paid to do their job at the bunker has never watched a game of rugby before. So yeah, of course he would think that, cocking your elbow back and swinging at the player on the ground who's carrying the ball constitute a dangerous clean out and not a swing, and not a striking offense, right? Because that is just something that we all know. Nobody watches fucking rugby anymore in Australia, including the the referee that works in the bunker. We know that. We know that as a fact. Evidence right here tonight. And boy, Mcdermott also had a horrendous first half. I mean, what else I didn't say? There was a time where the Reds were behind, penalty advantage right in front of the try line. Mcdermott just hanging out the back. I mean, the forwards are looking at each other like, what do we want to do? I guess the halfback's not here. Let's just pick it and go. He's just sitting in the back, scratching his ass. When there's a penalty advantage where he needs to go in and make a play, he's just going to hang back, right? I mean, the amount of involvement he had in the first half, Tate Mcdermott, the fans, right, that's sitting on the sideline, had more involvement in the game than he did in the first half. And only to come out in the second half, right? To lose his own composure. Because he probably had, I'm guessing the coaches had some words with his lackluster performance. Oh, man, I can't take it. Oh, I can't take criticism. I'm guessing that's what happened. He came out, fired up, and, the Moana Pasifika guy, a little bit of fend to the face. Oh, no, I couldn't take that. Taking a punch. Oh, sorry. Dangerous clean out. 6 weeks. Not 2. Definitely going to be 6 week. Oh, man. Ironic. And, disgraceful. Absolutely fucking disgraceful. And the other guy, I already mentioned, Fraser McReight, also got a red card, which I thought probably should have been a yellow. Because there was another player involved in tackle. Very low level of danger. Shoulder to the head of Havili. Havili didn't even have to go out for a HIA. I thought that should have been enough for a yellow. But hey, if the, obviously the TMO don't watch rugby like we just established, I don't blame him for upgrading that to a fucking red, right? Because, yeah, we all know that nobody watches fucking rugby in Australia, including the people that works for the fucking Super Rugby themselves. But hey, it is what it is, right? Moana Pasifika really hung himself in there. They were under the pumps at times. Reds were shooting themselves in the foot because the resilience of the Moana Pasifika team hanging in there, and then if the Reds just gets frustrated, drop the ball, kicking the ball away stupidly, whatnot, giving away silly penalties, punching people on the ground. Sorry, dangerous clean out on the ball carrier after making a tackle, that sort of thing. The Moana Pasifika wasn't receiving it a lot of that, but they hung in there. The resilience, stayed resilient, and eventually they were able to pull through with a try in the dying minute. Havili as well, he was not having the best game, I don't think. Couple missed kicks, and then finally pulled himself through to score that try to win the game. 17 points to 14. Was a very, very, very good effort from Havili to dig his team out of the shits to win this match. Now, another guy I really want to say congratulations to, and I'm really fucking happy for once. It's Mr. Jeff Wilson. I have to say, I was happy to hear him for the first time ever say good things about the scrum. I know. And I got a soundbite so you can listen to it for yourself, because this will be like, I should set this as my ringtone because it's just so beautiful to my ear to hear Jeff Wilson say good things about the scrummaging. So let's hear it.
I wonder whether or not they would have preferred the 5-metre scrum.
Yeah, here we go.
He didn't take the shot at goal,
Shot called.
The scrum looked really good. Earned a penalty from it.
The scrum looked really good. Earned a penalty from it. I wonder if they should have gone for the scrum option instead of the penalty goal from Jeff Wilson. Yes, I'm really happy to hear that. So thank you, Jeff. Finally, you guys turned a bit of a corner. I really appreciate that. I appreciate, commentary not bashing the sport. So yeah, just the fact that you didn't trash the scrum was already I was already happy. The fact that you actually said something good, positive about the game. Thumbs up from me, Mr. Wilson. That was I did not expect that, and I was very happy to hear that. So yes, with that out of the way, did I miss any stupidity? Yes, Mcdermott. We talked about that already. And yes, let's move on to the match stats of this game. So yeah, the Reds had to play with was really, really poor in the first half. The Moana Pasifika was leading 10 points to 0, kept the Reds on 0. Like I said, the Reds had penalty advantage in the first half, and Tate McDermott was just like, that's him not playing the rugby. It's like the breakdown was so slow. There was no decision making. He was on poor autopilot. He was autopilot during sleep mode, right? That's how bad it was. And so it was really poor. Second half, the Reds sort of fought back a little bit, only for Mcdermott to look for an early holiday, and then with a dangerous clean out. And so let's have a look at that. You can see that Reds still had tiny bit better stats at Moana Pasifika, 370 round meters from Moana Pasifika to the Reds, 372. Turnovers conceded 18 for the Reds. Moana Pasifika 16 themselves. Not crazy, but it's like quite even, like you can see overall in the scoreboard as well, reflected in the scoreboard. Tackles count, 144 for Moana Pasifika, 29 missed tackles. The Reds, 127 tackles made, 20 missed tackles. A little bit less in terms of tackle completion for Moana Pasifika, but the Reds were just shooting themselves in the foot, dropping the balls, penalties. We'll get to the penalty count in a minute. Kicks in play, 25-28. The kicking was pretty bad. There was one point where Jeff Wilson was saying that the Reds was just not playing in the Super Rugby levels. The Reds kicked the ball out on the full twice. Forward pass, 3 meters forwards, throwing the ball forwards. It was really, really poor in the first half. And Jeff Wilson was I had to agree with him. It was angrily in commentary saying that, and I quote, "That's just not good enough for this level." He was like genuinely like angry at how bad the Reds was performing when it comes to some of this stuff, some of this really poor plays that was put out on display. Lineouts, 5 lineouts lost for Moana Pasifika, 0 for the Reds out of 15. Moana Pasifika 19 lineouts for themselves. Like I said, the scrummaging, even Jeff Wilson has mentioned it. Moana Pasifika was maybe slightly a bit of an advantage, not like crazy amount, but just slightly looked a little bit tighter. And they did get 1 scrum turnover against the Reds as well. And here's the part where the Reds really hurt themselves. Moana Pasifika only 6 penalties conceded. The Reds 10. I felt like there was more than 10. There was like penalties stacked on top of each other. Maybe they only counted as 1. I felt like there was more than 10. There was a lot of repeated penalties at the breakdowns, just being like, chained away for Moana Pasifika to get back into the game. And the 2 red cards, one for Mcdermott and 1 for McWright. And very, very disappointing. Anyway, I don't really know what else to say. Let's talk about the scoring. There was actually what happened here. Yeah, it took 14 minutes for Moana Pasifika to get themselves an opportunity to kick a goal. I think they had one earlier than that and they missed, I think it was. Let me see. No, so 14 minutes was when Moana Pasifika got themselves first. I think pretty sure they missed one before this. I think that earlier penalty and they missed that one. I think this was the second penalty they got. They had 14 minutes in and Havili hit this one through. 3 points to nil, get themselves settled on the board 14 minutes in. And then the game kind of just like really staled a lot. There was a lot of repeated scrummaging, just drop balls, and then just stupidity. Like the Reds kicking the ball, had a short on penalty and they kicked the ball dead. Yeah, and Moana Pasifika wasn't clinical themselves either. They had like a penalty advantage that didn't find touch. It was just, it was pretty a mess all over the place. But this was kind of play into the hand of Moana Pasifika because they are the underdogs. So a messy game where where your opposition is not performing is exactly the kind of game they kind of want to get themselves in and try to squeeze themselves out with a little bit of a win. And 34 minutes in the game, Moana Pasifika finally built themselves some little territory, some nice phase building, and then the ball just went out to the man himself, the boss, Julian Savea. He had McLon Phillip in front of him, just carried him on his back like a kid. There was 2 or 3 Reds players still around him, couldn't get him, just ran himself over for the first try for the Moana Pasifika. 10 points to nil. And like I said, just before halftime, the Reds had an opportunity to score. Penalty advantage inside the 22, right? This is the time to make a play. Mcdermott was nowhere to be seen. Like there must be like 5-6 phases where they should have just got the ball out wide or done even just like a 1 pass crash ball, right? Would have opened up like a bit of a different angle, would have helped the team a lot. Nah, Mcdermott was nowhere near touching the ball. So the forwards just pick and go. And and eventually I think it was a drop ball or something. Yeah, it was a drop ball. So the ball was almost intercepted Moana Pasifika player and it was knocked on. No deliberate knock on. I thought that was the right decision. It was a failed intercept, but it was like almost to his chest before the ball was knocked on. So I was happy with that. So that was halftime. No score for the Reds. 10 points for Moana Pasifika. Second half, immediately from the second half, Moana Pasifika made a mistake from the kickoff. They kicked the ball out on the full from outside their own 22. I think the ball was passed into the 22, so the player had a bit of a mental lapse, kicked the ball out on the full, and then the Reds just showed what everybody was expecting to be playing for the whole first half, but we really didn't see. Went for the line out, quick balls, and then eventually, again, you can see Mcdermott actually, like I said, unlike the end of the first half where he just like stood back and watched the forwards, literally watching the forwards like a spectator, crashing the ball forwards. He actually got in there and shift the ball left and right, picked a few options, and then eventually Penny Ravai crashed over for the first try for the Reds. 7 points to 10. And then a brand explosion occurred, I think around a few minutes later after this. It was looking quite good. The Reds was making a bit of a line break down the sideline. In fact, Mcdermott made a line break down the far side. And then the ball swung back out to the left-hand side, just good hands. And then eventually hung up by Sami. Grubber kicked the ball down. It's not grubber kick, like, look, kicked the ball down. And the fluke went up. Try time. And TMO went back saying, review. Mcdermott, swinging arm to the head. Sorry. Dangerous clean out. 6 week suspension for you, mate, not 2. And he was sent off. And the no try. Yeah, so that was not just the red card, but it was also a try disallowed in that same moment as well. And then after that, there was again, the Reds kind of just lost a lot of momentum after that. They actually did really well to hold on with 14 players, not concede any points. There was a penalty attempt 68 minutes in that was missed, hit the post, Moana Pasifika, and then eventually 70 minutes into the game, the Reds finally got themselves back into the full 15, and they just played a nice little set play line out. The ball didn't go anywhere, it was pushed back. The Moana Pasifika defended really well. The ball spread out, just good hands. Eventually, Geordie player dunked into the corner, try time for the Reds. 14 points to 10. Moana Pasifika had to score, tried to win, and then boy, it was looking like maybe they're just not going to be able to do it. Before 72 minutes, Fraser McWright was sent off with a yellow card, turned into a red. It doesn't really matter anyway. At this point, there was yellow card. It's less than 10 minutes, so it would have been off field anyway. And suddenly, Moana Pasifika, it's getting that one player advantage on the field again. And they play. The Reds defended. And finally, they never relented. The Moana Pasifika finally, 78 minutes, the ball went out to Havili. He had a player hanging on to him, just kept the leg pumping. He must have pumped forward like 10 meters before dunking the ball down for the try. And then, boy, 15 points to 14. He waited for the clock to tick over to the red before hitting the conversion. And that was the end of that. 17 points to 14 to Moana Pasifika. And yeah, disgraceful. I don't know what to say, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, a lot of you guys thought that this is like okay to, I'm just baffled how anybody could think that striking another player in the game of rugby is acceptable. I mean, if you want to be a fighter, go do UFC, right? Like you're different. You're in the wrong sport here. Really disgraceful, especially considering there are kids watching this and getting ideas from that. And yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And I don't even want to wear my red shirt today because it's just that disgraceful. So yeah, have a good one, guys. See you guys later for more reviews.